In this video, we're going to talk about how to make sure you're building the right no-code app. Now, make sure you stick around until the end because we're also going to talk about how our clients are making use of the process that we're about to go through and how they're making this work for themselves. And it's going to kind of help this come full circle for you so that you can see how it works as well. So make sure you stick around for that. Now, first, if you're new around here, my name is Kristen and I'm the co-founder of Coaching No Code Apps, where we help business owners and industry experts build custom apps to either start their app-based businesses or grow their existing businesses, all without coding and no technical background required. So first, how do you make sure you're building the right app? Well, we're going to jump over to the whiteboard here, and we're going to go through a common business model you might have heard of before. This is really more so a business progression, and it looks like a T. So this is a T-shaped business model. Now, the way a lot of businesses progress is they start out right up here at the very top of the T. This is wide, and that is how a lot of businesses start out, going wide with their markets, serving lots of different types of people, offering lots of different types of services, different types of products. And essentially what this does is it makes them a generalist. This is how a lot of businesses start out. Now, there are benefits to being a generalist. And really that is you gain a ton of knowledge. You gain a lot of experience because you're serving so many different target markets, so many different segments of your target market. You are offering so many different services or products that it really gives you a broad perspective on what you do best, what people need the most, what types of solutions work really well. It gives you lots of perspective. Now, this is a progression because lots of generalists then become specialists. And that is what makes up the stem of the T. Now, a generalist goes really wide, but they don't go really deep. But a specialist, instead of going really wide, they narrow their focus a ton, and then they go really, really deep. So instead of serving a bunch of different segments of a target market, instead of offering lots of different services, different solutions, they focus on one main target market or one main segment, one main offering, one main problem, one main solution, one main outcome. Now, there are a lot of benefits to being a specialist as well. Specialists have an easier time connecting with their target market, with prospective users. And the reason is because when you're really good at one specific thing, you learn how to talk about that one specific thing really well. You learn how it affects one specific type of person with a ton of knowledge. You learn how to best help one specific type of person in the best way. Now, think about it like a generalist is the buffet and the specialist is the really fancy steakhouse. You can get steak at both. But if you're going to the buffet, you are probably not necessarily looking for steak, right? But if you're going to the steakhouse, you're looking for steak because they do it the best, right? So there are benefits to going from that generalist sort of space to the specialist space. Now, when you do that, when you're helping a specific type of person, you get really good at helping them with a specific type of problem, your value goes a lot higher. And that means you can and should start charging to be on that same level. So when you become a specialist, you essentially become an expert. Okay, now again, there are benefits to being in both of these spaces. That's just a common business progression. Now, a really easy example of this is with our own company. Now, we started out as generalists. We started out as generalists because we were helping anyone and everyone who needed help with their app. Didn't matter what type of person it was, what type of app it was, what they were building it for, anything, just anyone and everyone. And we were helping them in lots and lots of different ways, any way we could think of, or any way that they really asked us to. Now, that was really beneficial because it allowed us to gain a ton of knowledge, and it allowed us to understand how we could best help one specific type of person. It allowed us to identify who we were best suited to help with our own skills. And so we narrowed down and we became a specialist, right? We created our Built to Scale program where we serve one specific type of client, and we help them build specific types of apps with a specific type of process. We know exactly what type of outcome they're looking for. And that's exactly what we aim to produce every single time, right? So we take clients who are industry experts or business owners, so they have a lot of knowledge about the problem that they're solving, the app that they're building, and we help them get to the point of being able to bring on those initial users, start using and testing their app. Right, so that was our kind of progression with this. Now, how does this relate to your app? That's the important part here. Well, I'm going to draw another model here. Now, like I said, the clients who we serve are these business owners or industry experts. Now, why do I label them that way? And this has to do specifically with how you can also make sure you're building the right app. The reason is because these people have a lot of knowledge within an industry. Now, they don't necessarily have to have a business. So let's move away from the business model now and just use a similar model, but for this situation with building an app and making sure you're building the right app. So these business owners are industry experts. These are people who have had a career, they currently have a career within an industry, and they have gained a ton of knowledge within that industry. Or maybe they're business owners. So maybe they are a small services business, or maybe they are a consultant, or they have a consultancy. Okay, so they're business owners or industry experts. Now, to be clear, to be an industry expert does not mean you have to have a career within that specific industry. You can be an industry expert as a consumer. But the point here is to understand that these people have developed knowledge of an industry. Whatever industry they are building their app for, they have been in that industry for long enough for them to understand the big picture view of the different types of people who are in that industry, the different types of problems those people experience, the different types of solutions they need and want. So these specific people, these business owners, these industry experts, you can think of them as being at the top of this T. Now, this is ideally where we like for people to start when they're building their apps. Now, again, you don't have to be building an app for your own business or for the industry you work in. You can still develop an expertise as a consumer. The point is that you have that wide range of knowledge. So whatever industry you're building your app for, chances are, and ask yourself this as I'm going through it, chances are you understand or you can identify the different target markets or the segments within a larger target market in that industry, the different user types that could potentially need an app, right? Like the one that you might be building. Okay, so you have knowledge of the people. You also likely understand the different problems within the industry. Okay, and there are going to be a wide range of problems for any industry, but you likely have a knowledge of lots of those problems. You also likely have an understanding of maybe existing solutions to some of those problems and why those don't work or what could make them better. You probably have enough knowledge to think of solutions to solve other problems that might not be, they might not actually have solutions yet, or again, to make existing solutions better or create better alternatives, right? You have that general knowledge. Okay. Now, again, we're not looking at the business progression. We're just using the same model. So you don't have to have a business that falls into this generalist section. You have the general knowledge. Now, that's really, really important because it gives you perspective. It gives you perspective. Now, what that allows you to do is it allows you to pinpoint a specific segment of the market within your industry. Okay. It allows you to pinpoint a specific problem that you want to solve, and it allows you to identify the specific solution and outcome that you want to provide. Because you have this general knowledge, because you have the big picture, because you have the perspective, that allows you to now build a refined app. You know the target market, or you can identify the target market. You know the problem, and you know the solution and outcome. That is going to help you immensely with not only the development of your app, but when you launch and grow your app afterwards. Why does it help with development? Well, if you're trying to build a general app, for example, which a lot of people do, or if you're just trying to build any type of app, it doesn't matter whether, what it's related to. Maybe you just had a cool idea and you want to build just any type of app. It's really hard to create a refined development process in that situation because it's hard to know what to even build. If you have no idea which features you should even build into your app, then chances are you're not pulling from a knowledge source, right? You're not pulling from this general knowledge that you've developed and pinpointing any specifics. But that's what you want to do. You want to pinpoint the specifics because then you're going to know exactly what to build, exactly when to build it, exactly what order in which you should build it. You're going to know exactly who you should reach out to become your first beta users, your first test users. You're going to know all of these things by default. You won't have to go searching for them. That's such a massive benefit. Now, this is what we see our clients doing. They don't just build an app and then have no idea where to go because they're starting out with a wide range of knowledge and a bigger perspective. And then they're funneling that into solving a specific core problem for a specific type of person. They know who that person is that they should then be reaching out to. So they don't get to the other side of development and then not have anywhere to go. Well, now they just keep following those steps, right? They're on the path. They just have to keep going. That's what we want for you, because then again, it helps you with the development, and then with the growth, it just helps you keep going from there because you can continue going deeper with that problem by solving it better and better and better, using the feedback you get from your users, solving the problem better, providing a better outcome, and growing your app from there. That's what we want for you. So hopefully this helps you understand how to know whether you're building the right app. Again, if you don't have that knowledge base to pull from, that's not to say you can't build your app, right? But it's going to be way easier for you and a lot more straightforward if you do have that. If you're building an app that is related to your experience within an industry, again, whether that's because you're working in that industry or you are a consumer in that industry, you pull from that experience, you take that knowledge, and then you refine. You pick one segment, right? One type of person, one problem that you can solve. What do you bring to the table, right? You're solving this problem and you're providing one solution and one outcome, and then you can grow from there. That's how you know whether you are building the right app for you. So again, hopefully that was helpful. Now, if you are in that category where you have that industry knowledge and you do want to funnel that into an app, package that up into an app so you can move through development quickly and also head into those growth stages with more traction. If that's the point where you're at, and you want to see whether we can help you move through those stages, that's what we help our clients do. We help them go from that idea stage with their app to having this fully functional, complex, refined product that they can now start bringing those test users onto so that they can build that traction, get that feedback, and keep growing from there. So if you want to see whether it would be a good fit to work together on that as well, you can head to coachingnocodeapps.com/apply. You can schedule a time to chat, fill out a questionnaire that helps us understand what your goals are to make sure that we can really help you. And then we can start the conversation from there. So head to coachingnocodeapps.com/apply for that. All right. I hope this was helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.